The light on Maple Street. For as long as anyone could remember, Maple Street had been an ordinary place, quiet houses, familiar faces, and routines that seldom changed. But at the end of the street stood an old blue house where an extraordinary woman lived. Her name was Mrs. Elara Finch, and she was famous for one thing: her unshakable positive thinking. People joked that Elara could find a silver lining in a thunderstorm or a hopeful lesson in a traffic jam. But no one really understood how she managed it until the summer a new family moved into the yellow house across from hers. The family had a daughter named Mila, a thoughtful 12-year-old who often found herself trapped in spirals of worry. She worried about school, about whether she would make new friends, about saying the wrong thing, about the future. Her parents believed the move might help her start fresh, but instead, the unfamiliar place only made her anxieties stronger. On their first morning in the neighborhood, Mila sat on the front steps clutching her sketchbook, trying to draw the trees lining the sidewalk. But her pencil kept trembling with the fear that none of the kids on Maple Street would like her. Just then, Mrs. Finch appeared across the street, watering a patch of bright sunflowers. She waved with the energy of someone half her age. "Lovely morning, isn't it?" she called out. Mila nodded shyly, uncertain whether she should wave back. Mrs. Finch crossed the street anyway, moving with small but confident steps. "You must be Mila," she said warmly. "I'm your neighbor, Elara. I make terrible cookies, but great conversation." Mila laughed before she could stop herself. Elara's smile widened. "That," Elara said, pointing to the smile, "is the strongest kind of magic a person can use." "Magic?" Mila asked. "Positive thinking," Elara replied, tapping her temple. "Not pretending everything is perfect, but choosing to look for the light." Mila wasn't sure what to say, but something about Elara made her feel strangely lighter. The woman glanced at the sketchbook in Mila's hands and asked if she might see it. Mila hesitated, worried her drawings weren't good enough, but she handed it over. "These trees look alive," Elara said. "You see details most people miss." Mila blinked in surprise. No one outside her family had ever complimented her drawings. Elara handed the sketchbook back gently. "You know," she said, "positive thinking is like drawing. You choose which details to bring to life." Before Mila could respond, Elara invited her to visit the next day to help tend the garden. Mila agreed, unsure why, except that Elara's presence made her feel safe. The next day, Mila showed up at the blue house. The garden behind it was unlike anything she had seen. Sunflowers, lavender, tomatoes, herbs, and winding stone paths that looked like puzzle pieces placed by an artist. "Every plant here has had a bad day," Elara announced. "Storms, pests, too little water, too much sun. But look how they grow anyway." Mila knelt beside a wilted tomato plant. "What about this one?" she asked. "That one just needs attention. Nothing thrives without a little care," Elara said. Something about that idea settled inside Mila. She realized her thoughts were like plants, some strong, some fragile, all needing care. As days turned into weeks, Mila visited often. She watered plants, gathered herbs, and listened to Elara's gentle lessons. When Mila confessed her fears of being judged, of failing, of the future, Elara never dismissed them. Instead, she showed Mila how to shift the focus. "For every fear," Elara said, "look for a thought that lifts you, not buries you. Your mind believes whatever you repeat." One afternoon, Mila admitted she was terrified about starting school. Elara handed her a small polished stone. "This is your reminder stone," she said. "Hold it whenever you feel scared and choose one positive thought. Just one. Let it be louder than the fear, if only for a moment." Mila kept the On the first day of school, her stomach churned. She stood frozen at the entrance until her hand brushed the stone. Her positive thought rose slowly, but clearly. "I can handle one moment at a time." She stepped inside, To her surprise, she made a friend in art class, another in science, and by lunch she was laughing at a shared joke. Fear still whispered, but she didn't let it take over. Every day, she practiced. One good thought, one brave action, one small moment of choosing light. In autumn, Elara fell ill. The neighborhood learned she would need long-term treatment. Mila visited her often, bringing fresh drawings and news from school. She tried to stay cheerful, but seeing her vibrant neighbor pale and quiet frightened her. One evening, Elara placed Mila's latest drawing, a cluster of sunflowers, on her bedside table. "You've learned the secret," Elara said softly. "Positive thinking isn't about ignoring the hard things. It's about meeting them with hope." Mila held her hand. "Did I really learn it?" Elara squeezed her fingers. "The fact that you're here says yes." Elara's health slowly improved over the next months. When she finally returned to the garden with her cane, the first thing she saw was a new patch of sunflowers. Mila had planted them herself. "Look," Mila whispered proudly. "They grew." Elara smiled, eyes shining. "So did you." And on Maple Street, everyone soon learned what Mila already knew. Positive thinking wasn't magic, but it could make the world feel magical, one thought at a time. "Look," Mila whispered proudly. "They grew." Elara smiled, eyes shining. "So did you." And on Maple Street, everyone soon learned what Mila already knew. Positive thinking wasn't magic, but it could make the world feel magical, one thought at a time.